Hey guys, how you doing? This is Gavin here from Starfresh Personal Training, and today's video is about maintaining your weight. And I must admit, this is probably one of the hardest things that I ever had to do, basically. And over the multiple times of losing weight, maintaining it always seemed elusive to me, and I had no idea how to do it, because what I used to do was, as everyone kind of does, is that they go on a diet. It's really calorie restrictive. You might exercise, a huge amount more than you used to, and it just becomes a battle because you can't actually maintain the diet and you can't maintain the exercise program because your body will fight you all the way. And if you cut out too many calories from your diet, you become lethargic if you're not recovering properly, if you're exercising too much. And it comes a point where your body just can't do it, and then cravings start, lethargy comes in, you don't feel like working out, and before you know it, you've kind of given up, on your little routine. Then you gain all the weight back, and in my case, it used to be a lot more than I ever lost. And so I guess I'm trying to distill down what actually changed and how I actually did it. Well, I sort of had a bit of a I became a bit more focused on things, and I became a little bit more in tune with what was going on. So I was then able to sort of monitor and measure and track, because that's really important. And I'm a big believer that whatever you track gets managed, and if you don't track these things, then you can't manage it. So instead of just cutting out a bunch of calories without having any idea why you're doing it, you're really going to struggle. So if you're somebody at the moment has lost a lot of weight, and you're just in the maintenance mode and you're really trying to find how to maintain it, and again, you may have reduced calories and training hard and lots of exercise. These are the couple of tips I've got for you right now. Okay, so one, you kind of need to, how do you feel right now? Do you feel that you can actually maintain what you're doing? And if the answer is no, then obviously there's a couple of things you can do, which I'll talk about very shortly. If you can't maintain your training volume, if you can't maintain the low calories, then you need to change something. And for me, I got all the way down. I lost over 20 kilos, 22 kilos or something, I think, or 21 kilos, and I got a six-pack. Now, the six-pack was awesome, it was good to have, but it was so difficult, and I literally couldn't keep it. There was no way I could ever maintain that. So I had to sort of take a little step back and think, where the six-pack, in fact, probably made me less happy or as unhappy as I was when I was overweight, because now I've lost a lot of weight, but I've got a massive hard calorie restriction, a massive training regime, and it becomes very difficult. So then I had to step back and think, where would I be happy? And I kind of sort of took a step back, reevaluated my goals and things like that, and I basically allowed myself to eat a little bit more, train a little bit less, and then I settled at about the 15, 16 kilo mark of weight loss. Now 15, 16 kilos it was awesome. I was still lean, I was still fit, it was my sweet spot where I can function, I had lots of energy, and all those sorts of things. And I couldn't see my defined six-pack, but I can see the outline of my abs. There's a place where I can still get stronger, and I can still train regularly and comfortably. So what I want you to do, guys, okay, is if you're not tracking what you're doing right now, you need to do that, okay? You need to get out a list of paper, you need to write down how many workouts you're doing a week, for how long you're exercising for, and what type of exercise. And if you're not already, you need to bust out MyFitnessPal, get stuck into it, and find out how many calories that you're actually consuming right now. Once you get that, okay, well, then we're going to talk about maintaining. And obviously the answer to the question, can you maintain what you're currently doing, it's either going to be yes or no. If you can, then I'll just go hard and just carry on with doing what you're doing. But if you think you can't, this is what we're going to do. We're going to, one, reduce your training volume slightly. So if you were like me, and I used to train up to 8 times a week, which is just crazy because I was doing martial arts at night time, gym in the daytime, all those sorts of things, then you need to cut back a little bit. So if you're training, say, like I was 8 times a week, cut your training back a little bit to maybe 5. Just cut out 3. You might think it's an awful lot, but it actually isn't that much. So cut the training volume back a little bit, and then see how you feel with that. And if you feel that the 5-day a week exercise volume is comfortable, like for me it is, 5 days a week is really comfortable. I've been able to do this for years now, and it's being actually tidy. So 5 days a week is my sweet spot. It might be 4, might be 3 for you, but with reducing the training volume that low, then you're going to need to cut your calories and look at your calories a bit more as well. So first of all, reduce your training volume, and simply because your calories are where they are right now. If you're on that diet, and you're going to find yourself feeling probably less hungry and a little bit easier because you're not having that massive calorie expenditure that you had because of your extra training. So if you're like me, I say burn about 4 to 500 calories per workout. Let's say that's an extra 1,500 calories a week that you're not burning exercise, that you could probably that goes back in to help you feel a bit more energized. Okay, then what I want you to do is kind of maybe add some calories in. So if you find that you're still hungry and you're on this diet and you're still really hungry, even though you cut back your workouts a little bit, you need to add some calories in. Now, I don't want you to add hundreds of calories in. I'm talking about 100 to 200 calories a day. And what you're going to find is that when you add those 100 to 200 calories in per day, you're going to start to get your energy levels back again, and you're going to start to feel less cravings. You're going to start to feel a little bit more alive, really, and a little bit easier for your diet. And when we're talking 100 calories, I'd probably recommend, it doesn't matter. I don't think it really matters where it comes from. If you use MyFitnessPal, you can bump your calories up 100, and all your carbs, fats, and proteins will just go up slightly at the same time. So don't worry about the actual macronutrient you need, and then see how you feel. And then, obviously then you need to monitor your weight, you need to monitor your measurements, your strength, your energy, all those things you need to come in. So get a little journal out, see how you feel, and keep on monitoring. So it's kind of a slow process, okay? And you kind of, reversing a reverse diet, if you like. So you've dieted down, you're going to kind of come back out of it a little bit. And what will happen is that because when you diet to start with, your metabolism slows. That's what happens. And you need to sort of build up your metabolism again. You need to do that slowly. So you sort of reduce your training volume, add a few more calories to see how you feel, watch your weight. Now, I don't need you to be obsessed with your weight, because weight is arbitrary. You're going to fluctuate weight with water, liquid, eating, everything else. But your measurements are important and how you look. So if you start to, that tire starts to expand, you probably added a few too many calories in or cut out too many workouts. So then you just add one or the other in, depending on what you want to do. But checking how you feel and how your body responds is the most important thing. And then you're going to probably settle down with an amount of calories that now feel comfortable, a training volume that now feels comfortable, and that is your little sweet spot, and that is where you're going to be able to maintain. Sure, if like me, and you got a holiday, a beach holiday, and you want to lose a couple of kilos, feel a bit better, then absolutely you can add an extra training session in, reduce your calories a little bit, whatever you want to do, and play with it to get that level of leanness you want for that period of time. Now, after all said and done, the only way you are going to ever maintain your new weight is to simply be consistent with whatever you decide to do. The moment that you give up, the moment you will put your weight back on. The moment that you lose sight of the fact that, the reason why you wanted to lose weight in the first place, you will put the weight back on. Now, for me, I've talked about this before. The reason why I still do what I do, is because I never ever want to be fat again. I never want to have to suffer the painful, sort of feelings that came with being overweight. And in saying that, because I've done this for so long now, they've become habits in my life. So there's, yes, sometimes I don't feel like going to the gym, but it's just something like brushing your teeth. I go and brush my teeth, I'll just go to the gym. It's kind of the same thing for me. So even though I don't feel like going, I'll just go and do it. It's all good. But above all, the only way you're going to maintain anything is to sort of, what's I'm looking for? Take on this new normal, because your old normal was where you're overweight and happy. Your new normal is exercising, maybe tracking calories, being on a diet. That is your new normal now, and that's where you need to stay. And you need to stay with that new normal, because as soon as you slip back down to the old normal is where you're going to put your weight back on. So whatever you decide to do, be consistent. That is the overriding principle of this whole thing. And there's going to be tweaks and things in between. So that is my take, and that is how I maintain my weight and keep it down. And I'm able to add weight and lower my weight and body composition. When I say weight for me, very, very easily. I know I'm tracking my fitness pal, I know my exercise volume, and I just tweak one or the other depending on my goals at the time. And it becomes really, really easy, and it's no longer this elusive thing anymore. And it is simply comes down to, you know, what you track gets managed, or what you measure gets managed, and that is it. So start fresh, guys. Okay, I hope I got my point across. If I didn't, please leave a comment down below, and if you want me to elaborate on anything I've just said, I can do that. And that is it. Start fresh. If you don't make a change today, how will tomorrow be any different? Cheers, guys.